What's going on? This your boy King Gabe here. We are here with another special guest to interview.
Clayton Canerday, the occasional filmmaker, director of Escalation, and a couple other films you may not have heard of.
Oh yes, and as you know, Escalation starred our boy EJ in there. Say it, whichever. That's how we came to know him now. So yeah, we got him here. We're gonna just kind of briefly ask him, about some questions about the movie Escalation, and also feel just a few other things around it there. Yeah. So okay. So first off, when did you first start making independent movies?
Ooh, see, I was worried you were gonna ask that question. So, I've always kind of been a sort of a storyteller in a way, ever since I was in middle school, and maybe even early schooling. We'll say about, I think the first time I ever wrote a wholly original story was first grade, either first or second. I was either 8 or 9. That was, I remember I used to read a lot of graphic novels was the thing when I was really young. It was stuff like Captain Underpants, and stuff like
So you kind of
all that great stuff.
So you're not too different from me.
Oh yeah,
now.
that was right when they were coming out, so it was like the perfect time to get into all that stuff. But what ended up happening was I was like, I want to write my own stuff. I remember when I was like 8 years old, I was going to Goldana School. It was in Natchitoches Parish. That was in Natchitoches Parish. But I think I told the teacher I got like a piece of loose leaf paper, wrote maybe like a paragraph's worth of stuff, and I went up to the teacher and said, I wrote a story, and that's how I got my start doing it. But when I was about 14, I got into animation. I started doing some 3D animation in Source Filmmaker.
Okay.
And I wasn't very good at it, but I had a consistent series called the Vulcaneer Chapters, that's what I called it.
Okay.
And it was, the first one was like a 50-minute long, I don't want to call it a movie, it's like a special of sorts. First was a 50-minute long special, and then I would do 4 episodes. I do like 4 20-minute episodes. And then after that, I would do another movie, because then the next one was about 30 minutes. It was 30 minutes, and I want to say I did about 30 episodes worth of stuff and 4 movies. And unfortunately, I never finished the last one. And it got, I think at that point I was starting to realize, well, this is... And the thing that really irked me was that it was really tedious. If you ever animated, have you ever tried to do animation?
I have dabbled. Well, no, I hadn't dabbled. As I showed you with the book. Yeah, I've actually, even before, I guess before using the term, been drawing like ever since I was like just a little kid. Then just kept going at it. Just like you say, you say you didn't start off like super good, but that's the thing. That was the same with me. But I had to keep going at it. Because for one thing, I like to draw. So.
Oh yeah.
But yeah, I actually as far as like anime, like studio, something like that. I know I can't, as I haven't. Yeah, I do want to get into that. Like that's one reason why I started with I want to try to make animated series now. So. Yeah, so that is something I want to go toward, though.
It's fun. It's fun. I'll say that. It's very fun to sort of, because you get your own. There's no limitations with animation. That's the one. That's one of the big advantages of it. If you can imagine it, you can put it. You can put it out there, and it's. But I did a good. We'll say about 100 works with animation from about 2000. God, that was goodness. That's like from about 2014 to 2018. 18, I want to say. And I took a bit of a break from it in 2019, but I still had that sort of hankering, that itch in the back of my neck. I was like, I want to do some. I still want to tell stories. I want to be a storyteller. That was my first thing. I wanted to entertain people. I guess that was the main thing, because I was always, I loved making people laugh. That was the one thing. I like people that make people laugh. I like making people go, ooh. I like making people go, oh my goodness. That's what I would always tell people. But anyways, so I think it was, I mean, I have the dates. Give me a second. I think it was 2015. Let me see. Let me check right here. I believe it was 2015 when I did it. It was... I did a short film called Profondo Nero,
Okay.
otherwise known as Deep Black in English, in 2017. That's when I did it. And I wrote it in like a day. I wrote it in a day. No, I didn't write it at all, because at that point I wasn't using scripts. I was just doing it like that.
Oh, really?
Yeah, just wing it. Just let it come to you naturally, which is I think it's a good skill to have, the sort of that improvisation, but it can lead to catastrophe. I can say.
And then I think a lot of it, because I mean, you can have ups and downs. Even when you write a script, you can have up and down. But I think a lot of it just depends on the person, and how they, how their mind think. Because some, you take like you say like improv a lot.
Oh yes.
That kind of make me think of Mike Epps. That when he did that Roscoe Jenkins movie. He didn't even read that script. He improv everything in that movie.
I'm a big believer in the script is sort of, if you were building a house, your script would be your outline, and your actors are your construction workers. They build around that outline, and what you end up with, they do their own interpretation of what that two-dimensional outline is. The director's the guy who gets them there. And the film is that finished, is their own interpretation. What you see is what they get. That's my sort of style. I like it to be sort of, this is what this says, but if you have a better idea than what the script says,
kind of leave it open there.
Shoot. That's what I said. That's what I did on Escalation. I said, shoot. Just do. If you got something better than the script, which most of the time they do. I'll tell you right now. I have an interesting type of writer. I don't quite. It's sort of it's hard to describe. It's sort of when I write, I'm thinking, okay, I need to leave this as open as possible for the person who's going to do this.
Okay.
So that they can have as much opportunity to build off of what I'm writing as possible. Because one thing that really irks me is when you see like directors and they'll say, "Oh, do it like this. Don't do it like this." I don't think that's a good way of doing it, because film is a collaborative art.
Right.
As a thing, you come together with everybody. Most of the arts, I think, art is at its best when you're working with the people you've got.
Right.
You need to just like. If they're there, let them do their thing.
And it's kind of, and then sometimes like, when you make like when you get your cast together, like who you cast, some cases people will write in the intent of a certain cast member, like how they might say something this play we did back, well actually we're going to do a bigger play, but it's a play with Brownie's Rescue Miss on Uranus. We had we did a script reading, and EJ was in it, and I had him read the Van of Master part. And I think he ad-libbed some things in there, but there were some things I wrote kind of thinking how he kind of would say it like I added something here. He said, "Oh, I could tell that was wrote for me." So that's a good thing there.
And that is what I did on Escalation. I wrote certain things with parts for him too. I wrote the part of Michael.
Oh yeah,
As with him in mind. I wanted to give him sort of a big dramatic role. That's what I wanted for him, and he did a really good job. I think. I told all the actors, they all did a really good job. Every single person there. I think the acting is definitely the strongest part of that entire film.
Yeah, I definitely, and I know you saw my reaction to the movie. I definitely, like what I saw. You know, to figure out, okay, what are they doing now? You know, it was it keep you invested.
I think that's why I call it escalation. You know, it's constantly building up. It's constantly going and going and going and going until it crescendos at that end with the guy getting shot and all that. That's.
Yep, and that's a good choice of title too.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. It was luck, but back on the topic at hand. When I did that, when I did Profondo Nero, that was 2017. Now I'm from a real small town called Calvin.
Oh really?
Now you know where Calvin is?
Let me.
This is my favorite question.
Is it Texas?
It's still in Louisiana.
Oh okay. Whoa. Let me say. Is it like somewhat like Minden or something like that?
No. Okay, this is my favorite question ever. We're gonna play 20 questions right now because now I do this with everybody. So okay, let me think. Do you know where Alexandria is?
Yes, I've been there.
All right. Do you know where Winfield is?
I do. Yes. So it's near Winfield?
It is a village outside of Winfield.
Oh, okay.
That's where I'm based out of. Very small village. Very small village. Less than like 1,000 people live there.
Okay.
Very real small, but it has a high school. And that is the key right there. Because they were very interested. I made Profondo Nero. I made that all by myself. That was me doing everything. I was acting as every character. And that's I guess that's sort of where I got my sort of, I guess you could call it a gonzo style of filmmaking.
Oh, yeah.
Where it was, it's me playing everybody, swapping masks, swapping costumes. It was horrible. It was hot that day. It was horrible. It was hot. And I remember there was this great moment where I had this long jacket on. I had this hoodie. It was a hoodie on. And I was like, I'm dying. I threw the hoodie off. Got caught in a fan. Got caught in a fan. And it was perfect. It was completely caught in the chain. It's never been so perfectly wrapped around.
And
that was horrible.
And it just kind of flowed in there. Huh?
I said, well, I'm not getting that out for a while. But I did Profondo Nero. I did that in one day, and I think. It's still on the YouTube channel. It might be unlisted, but I'll probably make it public after this because I think it's interesting to look back. I like to look back on some of my older works. That's what I'll say.
So it's on your original.
Yeah, that's on.
Deaf Dad there.
Yeah, it's gonna be on that channel. That channel's old, by the way. That's like a 13-year-old. That's like a 15-year-old channel. Come to think of it, I made that back when I was 11. 10?
Really?
Mm-hmm. I made it back in like 2011.
The same thing when you put Escalation on.
Mm-hmm. I'm still using that channel. Still. I still use it. Because that was my brother's channel for a while. It was mine, and then I made it my brother's channel, and then it's mine again. Because we shared it, and then he made his own channel.
So y'all had quite a history with that.
Oh yeah, that I have. It's a very long history, very complicated. There's a lot of stuff that isn't on there anymore. Like those animations used to be on there, they're not on there anymore. You might be able to find some if you surf the web because I did post them elsewhere, but they are very few and far between, and I didn't keep backups up, so a lot of them are lost to time.
Oh.
So if you want some real history, if you want to do some diving, I got a bunch of lost media that's just somewhere on the internet.
It may be the Internet Archives.
It may be. I don't know. I posted them a lot of places, so that data is definitely still out there. Some of those movies, those shorts, animations, they're out there somewhere. But yeah, coming from a small town, people were interested, but people were very hesitant to work on them, if that made any sense.
Oh.
People were like, you did that? I want to work on it. But they weren't, like, jumping at it. They weren't, like, jumping at it.
Kind of like
it's
they
kind of
wanted
like
to, but didn't want to, sort of.
They kept a view. They kept like a far view from it. They admired it, but they didn't want to be in it. And so what ended up happening there was, after I did Nero Profondo, that was 2017 when I did that. That was the first. I don't think it was actually. It's the first important one. There was probably some way before, from when I was like 15 or 14, sometime around then, that I did as a sort of just like to see if I could do it. But that was the first big one I did. That was the one that was like, okay, I'm going to take this serious. I'm going to get it done. And I did. And I shot it all in one day, which at this point I've become accustomed to, because I'm always shooting something. I'm like, do it like that. Do it like that. Like the other day, I was talking with a writer friend of mine, and she said she had this script she was doing. She said, I think I can get it done in 2 days. I said, you can get it done in 1 day. 2 for safety.
Well, that's one thing about being like, especially having a passion for it. Yeah, you can really get
it done.
Sometimes you have to other people it might seem like, man, you're mad, but that's what passion.
Oh man, it's funny because when I show people Escalation, they have sort of this look like, you did that in 2 days. That's what they look like. Wow. Because there's
pretty amazing. I will say that
there's some stuff in there that's like. Because the whole thing was the passage of time. So I had to clock that thing when we made it. I had to keep track of what time it was on both days that we shot, because I had to make sure, does this match with this?
Okay. Oh yeah, the time.
Because the times keep changing. If you pay attention, time is constantly moving, because they start in the afternoon, and by the time they're done, it's black night. It is dark outside.
And yeah, with your lighting and stuff.
Mm-hmm. And a lot of it was natural lighting too. There was some lighting in it. Not much, but there was a good bit of lighting in it.
Yeah, and that just made me think. Which I guess a good thing we under this light. I got my ring light.
Hey, I always get told I have a good eye. I can make natural eye shadow because my eyes are deep, so I can just.
Sort of like the Superman eyes.
Yeah, kind of, sort of. I can just black out my eyes right here. But when I did Nero 2, I did a sequel to it. I did that one by myself too. But that one got a much better reception than the first one, I'll say that. Because with that one, with the first one, I was like, well, this is going to be a bit safer. It's going to be a bit safer. It's going to be a bit more routine. So this is me learning. Nero 2 was like, well, now that I did the first one, I can experiment with the second one. And so there's this great scene in Nero 2, the best scene in it, when I play a character who is being chased down by this guy with a mask and a pole. He's got like one of these PVC poles that you use for like
What's that pole for?
It's a PVC pole, but we're getting real off topic. But it's like it was like one of those dang, I can't remember what the heck you use it for. It's one of those like water line poles, you know,
okay.
The ones that burst all the time. I just have a surplus of those. But anyways, he's getting chased by this guy, and he stabs him. Where does he stab him? Okay, so there was a scene. It was a very dangerous scene. Looking back, where I put like one of those fillet knives, you know?
Oh, yeah.
One of those little ones you cut fish up with.
Filet mignon.
Yeah, one of those things that I really put it right here. And it's a good thing I had a mask on, because otherwise I'd probably have a scar and or an eye patch.
Oh, boy.
Now,
but then you gotta be careful with those practical scenes.
Oh, yeah. That was a big safety thing, I'll say that. But anyways, there's a scene where I get stabbed. I stab myself, my masked self. I think it was in the gut. Yeah, I stabbed myself in the gut, and he runs outside holding the wound, and I had a pile of Kool-Aid in my mouth. And it just starts going everywhere. I didn't realize I had this mask on. I was just going with it. The Kool-Aid is bouncing off of the mask. It's all in my face now. You can hear me like groaning, like, ah! And then I just get down on my knees. I'm in the middle of grass. You can see the school. I live right next to a school. You see the school in the background. I think there's people looking at me, and I just go, like Triple H in a wrestling match. And it goes flying everywhere, and I fall over dead. It was great.
And I guess that kind of made it accidentally more realistic.
Yeah, that was like that was just me like going nuts right there. That was me that was the start of sort of the well, okay, now I gotta find like, how do I consistently make something that's entertaining? Like, that got a real laugh out of people when they saw that. And I knew it was going to get a laugh out of them.
Almost, before I go to the next question, kind of reminded me of a short, well, actually it was a short that EJ did, and I sort of did a like an imitation of it, where he's talking about, like, people that you, like, knowing who you can trust, and God will get the, the fakers out. So I had two, Brownie and another plush toy. Like, Brownie was praying, and all of a sudden the other plush toy was like he was gonna sneak up and do something, and then suddenly I made it look like he was getting choked there, and I meant to throw him on the carpet. But he accidentally hit the chair while I think making a bang sound. So when I edited it, I put the bang word on there. I said, well, I guess the hand of God took care of him.
That's that right there.
Yeah, but it was alright. But yeah, I wasn't expect that. Sometimes unexpected stuff happen in film and that.
It just keeps going. That's how it goes. It's a happy accident.
So. I guess I was gonna say inspired, but I guess you pretty much kind of answered that second question. Inspired, along with starting it a little bit, inspired you to write independent movies.
What inspired me? That's a good question, though. See, I'm gonna tell you a little secret. I don't tell many people. I cannot stand writing. I cannot stand writing. I do it all the time. I've been doing it for 7 years now, but I still have to like make myself write. I'm like, okay,
in order to get your thoughts,
I gotta get this onto a piece of paper. And a lot of times it's not a thing. But what inspires me to write is one of the big inspirations is reality. I'm a big fan of things that actually happened. Like Escalation, there was truth to that story. Some of it is truthful. Like when I wrote the first draft of Escalation, a lot of the dialogue in that draft is pulled verbatim from something that actually happened.
Oh. Yeah.
But that is a very long story. I'll have to tell that. It was basically the Cliff Notes version of it is it involves a grocery store, the management team going nuts, a bank robbery. This is real. This is as real as it is. I couldn't make it up if I tried. People getting ran off the road by a team of jeeps, and someone dying. This is as real as it got. That really happened.
I think that is kind of a general thing with writers. Even you take like comedians. Well, obviously they'll be when they tell those stories to make people laugh. That'd be something that'd be happening to them there. And even stories of fiction usually have something that the author happened to that author in reality, but they just put it in a different format. Yeah. Yeah, it's kind of similar to what you said there.
Balz's reality is very powerful. I'll say that there's truth to almost everything.
And everybody got a different reality that they experience there.
We're all the main characters of our own story. What we see, we have our own unique sort of visions of what happens.
Pretty much, yes. So yeah, I get to say the inspiration. So will Escalation will that become? Well, is that going to have a sequel or become like a drama series in the future?
So we we actually talked about this on set. Kendall, the person who plays
Was he the one with the
he's the one with the dreads? Yes.
I don't know if I'm not sure if I know.
Well, see, I was introduced to him by EJ. That was the thing.
Oh, okay. His face looked real familiar.
Because what ended up happening was that part had not been cast, and we were about 5 days away from shooting. Because the guy was supposed to do it dropped, and the guy who was supposed to be the replacement hadn't replied. In fact, it's a funny story. He did not realize we had shot the whole film and the day after we shot, he replied. He said, "Okay, I'm ready." I said, "Well, we already shot it." So I met Kendall through EJ because he had acted with him, I believe. He can correct me if I'm wrong, but I think what he had said was he had acted with him through a stage play of some kind. Because he was based out of Texas. That was the thing. A lot of the actors in Escalation are based out of Texas. That was one thing. A lot of them came down from Dallas, like Charlie Vaughn, who played Daniel. He was a
Texas.
He was, I believe. I don't know if I can say this, but I believe he was under contract with one of the big studios.
Oh.
And so he was...
Wait, you said Charlie...
Charlie Vaughn, the guy who played Daniel. The guy who is with EJ, he's...
He might... You say he was under contract from
studios? Yeah, I think it was Paramount, but I could be wrong.
He might...
He was on Yellowstone, that's what I know. He was on Yellowstone. He's on a bunch of TV shows.
Okay. That may be why his name,
because his name is different.
I know something familiar about him.
But yeah, he's on some stuff. So that was one of the advantages to filming so shortly, because he was like, okay, I gotta do this, and then I gotta do this. He said I have to do this, and then I have to do this. He said I'm gonna do this, and then about 3-4 more days I'm gonna be back in Texas, and we're gonna be shooting something else. So we had to do it real quick. And then the other guy, Jacob Ecker, he was also out of Texas. So a good majority of the cast was based out of Texas, which in hindsight, I don't regret it, but it cost me a lot.
Well, they say, it takes money.
It takes money
to get your dreams out.
I think the other day someone said, you gotta make money so you can lose money.
Yeah, and then that's one thing my mom has even informed me on any type of like independent, like people starting out independent businesses. A lot of times they're going to put out quite a bit of money to get the business started.
You're gonna lose a whole lot. That's a very important business thing. You're taking a risk, really. That's the thing. It's a big risk-taking endeavor just to even do something small like a 15-minute short. That's a big risk. But anyways, we got way off topic there. But anyways, Escalation 2, we talked about that on set towards the end of the shoot, towards like the end of the second day. We talked about how Kendall shot me an idea. He said, "I'm gonna make Escalation 2 where I come back as a ghost and haunt all of you."
Oh my goodness.
I said, okay, well, if I really, he said, I'll think about it. And
either maybe somebody takes revenge for him.
Well, to tell you the truth, I did have an idea for a prequel to Escalation that shows the events that led to, what's his name? That led to Grant going to jail. Because in the film, he had just gotten out of jail. That's the whole thing about his character. He's out of jail because he was Jacob's character. Dang, I'm really bad with the names of the characters I wrote. Let me think. It was... Ethan, I think his name was. I don't know. I don't think they say his name in the film, actually. No, wait. Yeah, I don't. Richard. His name's Richard. That's what it is. Because I wanted to make the Richard joke, you know.
Okay.
that was the whole reason he was called Richard. But anyways, let me think. No, I wanted to make a short that revolved around Michael, Richard, and Grant, and those three, and what led up to their whole relationship in it. And that's gonna end. That would have ended with he does a speech in the middle of the film where he where Grant does the speech in the middle of the film where he says that he got sent to jail because he destroyed a guy's house. They destroyed a guy's house. I want to show that house getting destroyed. Oh, that was the whole thing about it. That'd be what if I did a prequel on it. A sequel, it'd be a bit difficult. See, it was written with a point of it being a standalone story, but I could definitely see a sequel following Daniel past the events, because in the original script there's sort of a brokenness to Daniel towards the end of the film. He's sort of like he sort of loses it towards the end. That was the whole thing about that. So sort of following what happened after that, maybe have Michael like trying to get back with Daniel, but Daniel wants nothing to do with him. Something in that neighborhood.
Yeah, so it's a possibility.
There is a possibility. Never count it out. That's what I'm saying.
Have you entered this in like a film festival or thought about that?
So originally the plan was we were going to put it into the Louisiana Film Prize Film Festival. That was the original plan. But as I went on making it, I decided I want this to be more of a practice thing, basically. I wanted it to be sort of this will be like, because I hadn't worked with actors in like a year at that point. I had been a PA on a couple of films before, and that was me getting back in the groove, because I think from like 2019 to 2021 I didn't do anything. And so basically Escalation, it started as a prize project, started as something we were going to do for Film Prize, enter it, but it ended up becoming sort of a okay, so let me see if I still have this in me. And I did. I did it. That's what I'll say.
So I guess probably you might have something else in mind to kick off in a.
There's certainly oh yes, I right now I'm working on. I've written 3 separate scripts in the past 6 months, and I'm letting one of them sit right now because I nearly blew my mind. I blew my mind writing it. It was a very difficult script to write, but I finished it. Now I'm letting it sit right now, but I think that one's going to be a real winner. This one I'm writing right now is pretty personal. It's a pretty personal one to me, and I'm thinking that one might be pretty good to enter. I think that might be the one I'm going to enter. I'm going to enter it. I don't know if I'm going to be able to make it this year. I hope I can, but right now I don't know, because if I am going to enter it, I don't know if I can make it to Film Prize this year. I'll probably have to enter it in one of the other regional festivals, but I'm thinking I want to at least get it done before next year. That way I can move on to the next thing, which is this project I'm working on with this girl who has this story she wants to do, and she wants to enter that competition too. Is a story. I don't know how much I can say on that, but
okay.
All I can say is
kind of avoiding spoilers.
She's in cahoots with me.
Yeah, kind of trying to avoid spoilers on that.
I don't know how much I can say.
Okay, but so one last question. How far do you plan to go in writing like movies or any other things?
Well, I've always been adamant that I didn't want to really go Hollywood, if that made any sense.
Oh, okay. Try to keep control.
I want to sort
of.
of. I guess you could say I'm a big fan of having complete control over a work, mostly because like if I were to just like do something, if I were to do something, I want to take full responsibility for it. I don't want anyone else to like. I want it to be my work. That's the thing about it. Now, I'm not against working with producers. That's the big thing about it. But I certainly would rather have it sort of be my own sort of style, my own craft, my own sort of thing. But how far would I want to go? I think if I could get into a big film festival, like one of the huge film festivals, one of the big, like, sort of grand festivals, that would be, I think I'd be happy. I think that'd probably be a good benchmark right there. Like something that's like good enough to get people, to have people be like, just like nationwide or
kind of know
everywhere, just dudes everywhere. It's like having a guy in like another country look at my stuff, be like, oh, that's good. That make me happy. I'd like to just I'd like to make sort of a cult sensation kind of.
Oh yeah.
Kind of. I think one thing I'd like to do is have I'd like to make like a film that has people like going nuts in the theaters, kind of like Rocky Horror, sort of like that.
Oh yeah. Just, Rocky, and then you mentioned like cult, like some that even like regardless of what the critics say, you got that group of people that will keep talking about it.
I'm always I'm a big believer in the Frank Zappa method, which is the critics. Oh, you can listen to what the critics want to say, but I mean, in the end, it is what it is. You do what you do.
Yep. Then especially like nowadays, on YouTube, we got people that reacting to a lot of like old movie stuff. So you might end up having somebody react to your movies.
I think YouTube is really good for that, to tell you the truth, because that's probably one of the easiest ways to get yourself out there. That's the hardest part. I would say this, the hardest part of directing, filmmaking, anything, doing any kind of art form is getting yourself out there. Once you get yourself out there, you got it. You gotta find, once you find your sort of audience, or they find you, sometimes it takes a really long time. For me, I don't know if I still have my audience. I have consistent numbers. I don't know if I really have a big audience, but that's alright with me. Because basically, at this point, my audience is myself and whoever else wants to watch it. But,
and then also that you have, that you also, you're passionate and you have fun doing it, because then that way, regardless of what you go through and doing it, you're doing something you like doing.
Oh yes, you love. It's just a thing of love, basically. Once you do it, you do it once, and I think everyone should give filmmaking a try. That's what I'll say right now. If there's one thing you can take from this, is that I think you should give filmmaking a try, because you'll never know if oh, this is for you. This is it. This is what I want to do. I had no clue. I was just throwing stuff at the wall, seeing what would happen, and I was like, well, I really enjoyed doing this. And I think last year when I did Escalation, that was me finding myself again. I was before I did Escalation, I was I don't know. And then when I was shooting it, I was like, this is so good. I was there's a scene where EJ picks up an idol from off the ground, and that was me laying on a concrete road in a hole right in the middle of the road. I'm I really hope I don't get run over right now, but man, I'm loving this so much.
Oh my, that was he was taking a pretty big risk on that one.
Oh my god, there was so many risks taken on that. There might be something wrong with me, because most normal people would have given up after the start of day 2, but I did it.
Way I look at it, you know what it is that you're trying to get into, because like I say, people, no matter what you do in life, good or bad, people gonna talk. They're gonna say good things about you, and then you're gonna have groups of people, regardless of what you do, that are gonna, just always try to find something wrong with you there. But like I told one of my crew members, just keep doing you. You don't let them get because you answer for who you are, not for the haters there.
You do you, I do I.
Exactly. So that's the important thing. You gotta, like I say, you answer what you are there.
I think if you please yourself, pleasing yourself, that's one of the big things. Like, if you're not happy with it, no one else is gonna be happy with it. But if you're happy with it, there's gonna be someone else. No matter how bad the reaction, no matter how negative anything is, if you like it, there will be someone else who likes it.
Right. Yep. And then also to just keep going.
Yeah, that's one of the big rules. There are two things that you have to do. One is do not stop, and the second is keep going.
Just like in piano practice. That's one thing that my piano teacher, which was actually EJ's mother, that she taught me. Just keep going. So yeah, same with other things like movie making. Yeah.
All the arts, really. If you anything you do, just do it. That's the basic. That is the thing to do. Just do it. What's that Nike thing? Just do it.
Just do. Oh yeah. Or do the do.
Do the do. Yeah.
So anything else that you wanted to add and tell the viewers, sir?
That's a good question. See, that's the best question. Because I got to think about it. Try as hard as you can. Never give up. And be happy. Because if you're not happy, everyone else is happy.
Okay, well that's definitely something to take away from it there. And any of you viewers that are trying to get into filmmaking, as I say, that's some words for you to think about there. Process as you're making your films there. So okay, if nothing else, y'all like what y'all done heard and everything. Make sure y'all definitely like, share, and subscribe. Definitely, if you hadn't looked at it already, scroll and look at my reaction to Escalation. And also, I'll have links to his channel so y'all can see the movie as it is without just the straight movie, so y'all can see that as well. And also, definitely definitely support us on get our available books and support us on Patreon, and as well as just like our Patreon Iceman Universe, and also support the Miracle Crew. Yours truly, King Gabe, Queen Tina, Big Sis Casey, Janara Nelson, and also EJ the Supreme. And definitely hang out with us on Discord, live streams, and on Facebook, and sell each other some stuff on the McCary app. And once again, be sure to check out what he got going on his channel. Link will be in the description. And all that said, as I say, we'll see y'all in the next video or live stream. And appreciate you coming out here.
Happy to be here.
Oh yes, and definitely look forward to meeting up with more people there. So see you guys later. Take care, everybody. Yeah. Ooh.